Settle in a little bit. I've got three things to share with you this week. Number one is going to help you if you have an online presence. Number two is going to help you if you're trying to get training in our industry, security and investigations. Number three, I don't think is actually for you, but someone may stumble upon this and find it helpful or informative. Hi, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. I'm the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, which is premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that over at ShadowAnyone.com. 350 plus articles and videos, training, keyword searchable. If you're looking for something, type in over there and see what you can come up with. And that kind of leads me to one of the first things. The first thing, not too long ago, I did a video on certifications and trainings, specifically certifications within our industry. Got a lot of great feedback from people on that. You don't need to see that video to understand what's going on here right now today. But in the course of doing that video, preparing for it, I discovered something that was kind of interesting. Now, here's the online presence tip. They say never punch your own name into a search engine. Don't. Just some ugliness will come up, right? It'll just bother you, especially if you've been online for any length of time. I've been here every single week for well over 7 years now, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of hateful stuff out there if you search yourself. So they say don't do that. I have not done that. I'm not interested in doing that. But while I was preparing the information for certifications within our security and investigations field, I discovered quite by accident a lot of my free training videos that you see right here are being packaged up and sold in training courses, which is super flattering and super weird. But I also kind of worry it's not fair to the people who are buying training that the creator has put out there for free. I discovered that a very common price point for education and training, especially continuing education training, is about $79. And of course, you have to, if you're required to have continuing education training to keep your license valid, then you're going to have to buy it. And $79 seems to be a price that's floating around out there to satisfy that government requirement. And a lot of those are just 1 hour lectures that somebody, an expert in a field, has put together. And it may be valuable, and I'm fine with all of that. But it's funny. I've got a video on a private investigator tutorial on using public records. It's a two-parter, but part one is out there for free, and it's a half an hour training, in depth, walking you through bit by bit. And the funny thing to me is that could easily be a big chunk of a $79 continuing education credit, or certainly for the half an hour, easily $47. But it's out there for free. So I just caution you, when you are out there looking for paid training, make sure it's not just scraped from free resources that you can have access to. The number two thing, I've kind of reversed this. That's the thing that's very helpful if you're looking for training and certification information online, that type of thing, especially that training. Let me go back to if you have an online presence. The thing is, again, if you've searched yourself online, you have found trolls and comments and haters and all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing I want you to keep in mind, and I bring this to you from, again, I've been there, done that point of view, years and years online, putting myself out there, teaching the best things I know. There will always be trolls and haters. Now, here's the way you understand that, look at it from this lens, especially if you're just starting out, because first of all, no one will see your stuff anyways in the beginning. So don't get, it's not all about you. Just help people out. They'll discover it. But what'll happen is the haters will jump on you right away. So here's what I can tell you has happened over the years, and I want you to look for it for yourself. If you look back at a hater comment, a troll comment from, say, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, look at where they are now. First of all, their account is probably dead. They've given up. They've moved on. They've burned their bridges and had to open a new account somewhere. But the fact of the matter is, if they are still out there spewing their poison out, they're in the same spot they were 3 years ago. Maybe 20 pounds heavier, and they're living in their mom's basement or off of somebody else's dime, but they haven't moved forward. They're still just as riddled with hurt and poison as they were back then, and haven't moved their lives forward at all. Here's the standard you judge by. Where are you compared to 4 years ago? Where are you compared to 3 years ago or last year? That's the only measure that matters. Are you a better person? Are you a better investigator? Are you better with your spirituality? A better Christian is what I would say for a lot of us. Have you moved forward over the last 4 years? In the last year, have you stopped cursing? Or have you broken another bad habit you have? Or, you visit your house of worship once a week in the last year. Maybe you're not hitting that perfect type of standard where you can look on a calendar and say, yeah, I've really made this accomplishment. Maybe you've only hit half of the weeks in the year that you've shown up at that house of worship. But if a year prior to that or 5 years prior to that, you were only going twice a year, you're improving, you're making movement forward, and that's the real measure. So don't forget about trolls, forget about haters. Honestly, the comments that they give you probably boost you in the algorithms of the search engines and other platforms. They say, oh, people are interested in this, they're commenting. So they're actually helping you out. Just ignore their nonsense. The last thing I have, and again, if you're a regular viewer, I'm quite certain this doesn't apply to you, but when you're looking for that free training online, distinguish, don't steal your training. Just because something's been posted in a torrent or that type of thing, if it is something that costs money, don't steal it. Let the creator have his or her little sliver of royalty or a little bit of money that they make off of it. Don't steal stuff online. Something that I do, I like to buy books. I'm a big book guy, and I buy used books almost exclusively all the time, buying used books. Unless something's really new and it's just there are not a bunch of copies out there, I tend to buy the used books. However, a lot of times I will find so much value in the book, I will go and buy a new copy just to make sure that the creator gets their cut, their little bit of royalty, their fair share that they should be getting, as kind of a thank you or an encouragement. Thank you for making this, and I want more stuff like this. So these three things come into keeping proper perspective in your life, what's important, what's not, whose comments matter and whose comments don't matter, people that don't even know you really. Look around at the people who know you. Have an open ear to them. If someone you love and who loves you gives you a piece of criticism or a suggestion, okay, take that in, mull it over, give it its proper weight, and make a decision based on that. But don't worry about the haters online. And just be ethical in all you do, as far as even don't get ripped off, and that you be a victim rather than a perpetrator there by buying stuff that's out there for free. But then don't be a perpetrator either. Don't steal. So these are very almost common sense type things, but I want to put them out there as a reminder to help you. These types of things have helped me through my life, and especially through the online things that I've done. In the meantime, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.